Well, hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Sail University online classes. My name is Steve Kane, and tonight we have got a wonderful audio workstations lecture. It is a week 3 Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's the Pro Tools Assignment 3. We got an awesome studio audience here tonight. Claude, Gerald, James, Jamie, Jingleheimer, Schmidt, Marion, Mitchell, Pegas, sorry, I always mess that up the first time. Pegas, Richard, Seth, Steve, Terrell, and Tariq are all in the house. What's up, y'all? Glad you stopped by. It's good to have you here. So as we go over this Pro Tools 3 assignment, sorry, I was getting a little excited, and I think I was distorting the mic a little bit. I'll have to turn that down a little bit. Sorry. Does that sound better? Didn't mean to distort out on you there. Just excited about what we got going on because week 3 means that when we do our Pro Tools assignment night, it's Thursday night. And that means that you have downloaded that lovely Zipperoni file, which includes everything that you need to complete this Pro Tools assignment 3. Oh, baby. You ready to do this, Will? The Pro Tools assignment 3 for us. The objective tonight is going to be not so much editing, but with the mixing. I know it says editing right here, but tonight we are going to work with the mixing. So I know I've gotten a few emails over here saying, yo, Steve, you're asking us for some screenshots on our milestones getting back to week 3. On those milestones, you were asking me to give you a screenshot of the effects. And, dude, you didn't cover it yet. But, dude, that's what we're going to do tonight, all right? So we're going to have some fun tonight doing some mixing and doing some of that kind of stuff. Not actually mixing, but the effects that you would do with mixing. We're going to really focus on the routing and everything. So after I complete the Pro Tools Assignment 3, please be sure to upload it. Now, the other thing that we are doing is remember to do your save as you get started. And that way, if you mess up, you've got your original to go back to. And remember, that's the real world thing. And I've already taken the liberty to do that to save us some time. So you'll see that we've got the Steve Kane Pro Tools 3. And if you want to see me do it again, I'll do it again. We'll do a save as. And I'm going to do this one especially for you. All right. So when I save that, now I've got Steve Kane for you. And so remember, we like to do this throughout the day as we're doing other things. You know, on the remix day, I do things like name it whatever kind of instruments I'm laying down and that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that you are doing the same thing and creating some great habits. So with that being said, we got this lovely Pro Tools session. We went ahead and opened it. We did our save as, and remember that will only save your as one day. Because you will have that original to go back to, just like it states right there. You like how I pulled that in, that doing that save as will save your as, because then you can keep the original, and that way you like that. Everybody's like, that's funny, I'm LAMOing, and I'm LOLing, and I'm ROLFing. They are all over the place. It's crazy, you guys that are in the archive are missing it, man. These studio audience guys are cutting up like crazy. They're crazy. Come on, y'all. Show me some love here, man. I'm going out on a limb just for you, for showing up. So, remember that late assignments, hold on. I'll get it ready for you. Late assignments will not be accepted. You knew I was going to do it, right? I mean, why wouldn't I? When I've got effects like that at my disposal, I can't not do it. You know, I mean, that just makes it more dramatic. That's pretty cool, huh? All right, so remember, we're not trying to cheat you out. Refer to that rubric. You like how I rolled my R's? So at the last part of it, I don't want you saying, dude, I didn't know you were going to take off for that, bruh. All right, so we just did our save as, and we named it our first name. We did not name it copy of. I still got some homeboys and homegirls naming me copy of. I'm not trying to turn this into, uh, uh, not trying to turn this into into confession or anything, but you just got to do it right, or I'm going to count off 10 points because some people are like, "Oh, dude, I did that." All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into number 2. We are going to select exactly 8 bars of the funk guitar track and process it 1 semitone higher. I guess it's out of tune. All right, so using pitch shift found in the audio suite. Well, let's just figure it out right here. Here's the funk guitar. Let's just listen to it anyway and see what we got going on. We'll do a little sound check. Get our little submaster up here. We can get rid of me and my effects channel right now. So let's, notice what column do I need to get my faders? Does anybody know that? And you're like, dang it, I forgot he likes to ask questions during this thing when I show up live. That's why all those other people quit showing up live. They didn't want to answer all those questions. But remember, what column do I need to start adjusting my volumes and all? There you go, James. All right. Gerald, at least I'm getting a laugh out of you. Thank you, sir. We're going to get our which is our I/O input and output, right? So everybody's going to the submaster. So let's just bring that for a minute. Let's listen. Oh, that doesn't sound bad, y'all. You know what I meant though? It sounds like it's sitting on like. Sounds like it's sitting on maybe a 7th and it wants to go to a root or something. So it says it wants us to process it 1 semitone higher. Hang on just a minute. I need to make a quick little cough. My allergies are acting up here. All right, I'm back with you. Yeah, this warm weather in October is what makes me mad as a Floridian because I've got allergies like crazy. So, let's just pause for doing this, and we're going to talk about 2 different kinds of effects. All right. So when it says this audio suite menu, there are 2 types of effects in this whole wide world. Right? There are rendered effects and real-time effects. Can I get an amen on that? All right, so we're about to learn the difference about that, right? Real time versus rendered. Now, these rendered effects are what these audio, and so process means render. That's another word for render means to process, right? Or to rewrite, something like that. So that's how a clue that we knew that it was a rendered process. Now, this is big for show production people because, see, when I go on tour, right? When I go on tour, and believe it or not, I hope everybody's sitting down, but I hope everybody realizes that there is DAW support on these big tours going around. You're like, no way. So, check this out, y'all. And by y'all, remember, I mean you guys, for you northerners up there, okay? Don't you know? On my system usage here, I got all of this. So I ain't got hardly no effects right now. Using a lot of memory. Yep, using a lot. But ain't using much of my processors like that. Now I'm making my southerners feel more at home by saying y'all and getting some of them vowels out the right way. But so this is why I want to render the effects, because the real-time effects would make these numbers grow. Does that make sense? So if I was doing a bunch of real-time effects, I would be maxing out this, and guess what that's going to do? That's going to, I got to bring up my effects for this, going to make your computer crash. Crash-o-rama. Which is never good in a live show, right? I mean, think about what happened to Milli Vanilli. I mean, that's what, that's it. They were like, blame it on the rain. Holy cow. So, blame it on the tech that messed up the tape machine, because Pro Tools wasn't rolling back then when Milli Vanilli did all that. Y'all know what I mean, or at least you old folks do. So if not, if you're young, I want you to Google Milli Vanilli. They changed it for all of us. Now you got people like Duran Duran, and Nick Rhodes goes up and pops his Mac top his his MacBook, straight up on the top tier of the keyboard. And guess what? Nobody cares. You got people like 21 Pilots going around, and everybody's going like, dude, how come two people can make all that sound? They don't care. They know there's a computer. It's all good, man, as long as you're doing it right. But this is where rendered effects come in. So everybody's paying attention. You see this audio suite menu? Look at all these effects, and people are going like, dude, those are the same type of effects that I see on these inserts. When I'm looking at my columns on my inserts, I see that. So let's do a little teaching moment. All right, so let's, for instance, look at an EQ, which is an EQ, right? So when I get this EQ, see how in real time I can take the bright sound of Steve and I can make myself sound really nice and bring out my S's. See how that sounds so nice? I mean, I'm tweaking out the plugin. Or I can get down on the low side right here and be like, hey, everybody, this is Barry White. How you doing? Everybody all right? All right. So this is a real-time effect. And then, so to give you like an idea that it's a real-time effect, I'll wiggle my mouse real quick. Look at my mouse. Look at my mouse. See where it says this bypass? I can go back to 0. That is a good idea that you've got a real-time effect. Now check this out. Let's squeeze this thing down real quick. Let's get this thing nice and narrow, right? And we're going to get this like that, just like that. Get a nice little, and then we're going to pull these things down. We're going to get rid of our bass, and we're going to get rid of our uppers. Yeah, you know what I call this? I want to get away. I want to fly away. Yeah, yeah. So we're going to call this our Lenny Kravitz little telephone effect, right? And so we're pulling everything out. You like it? I want to get away. And so check it out, these presets right here. I mean, you can go find, this is how I learned, this is how you learn to EQ. Look how they did some of these presets for you, right? And then special effects, when you look at telephone, look at that. I just did a little drastic, more drastic. I want to get away. So now what I want to do, I like mine better, and now I lost it. Darn it. But this is kind of cool. You know what? It was a little pump up there. All right. So now I got some output there. Now I want to save this. So up on this little drop down on the presets here, because see, still I can still bypass it, right? And then since I made a tweak, look what the compare does. Compare goes back. Oh, wait, if I made a little tweak here, like I want to tweak out that one, make it a little bit more narrow. Now compare goes back to the original setting, and then the tweak that I made. So you see a little bit difference between compare and bypass. Bypass, I'm all here, everybody. And then I can go to my setting and then back to the tweak that I made. All right, so I love that. I love that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to save this as, let's save this as my 1710 Vox. All right, and then I'm going to hit Save. So now I've got it in 17 Vox. Now, the way I'm going to do this, check this out. Now when I go up here, I'm going to do a quick little teaching moment here. Watch this. I want to get away. I want to fly away. Alright, so listen to that. We'll solo it. I want to get away. I want to fly away. Alright, everybody hear the effect, right? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, and under Audio Suite, look, I'm going to pull up the same effect. It's the same looking effect, but look at the difference here. Look at the difference. One of them has a bypass button, right? Notice this one does not have a bypass button. The real time does have a bypass button, right? Notice this one has a render button down here. This one does not have a render button down here. So now what I'm going to do is, just to show you what I can do here, I can now pull up that preset, and I can pull up 1710 Vox, just what we did right there. I want to use it in my playlist. I'll talk about some of these other buttons in just a minute, and then I'm going to render it. And see, what it's going to do is it's going to write that in. Whoops, I didn't mean to write it on the funk guitar. Undo that. Let's do it on Steve's vocals right here. And let's render that. And see, now it gives me my EQ. Then I can take my real-time one. And listen. See how now I have no effect on my voice, but listen when I play this vocal back. I want to get away. I want to fly away. See how we do that now? So now, by doing that rendered effect, it's not going to eat up, whoops, it's not going to eat up my memory and my processing. So especially if I'm going to utilize these tracks, and this is why we do a save as. So like, I'm going to do a save as. Let's do another thing. So like, I might do a save as and have one for the Letterman show. Well, Letterman's not on anymore. So let's say we're going on Conan, right? And on Conan, I can't fit all the background singers on stage. So what I do is I unmute their tracks and then I play their background parts because we're not going to go on stage without them, right? And then, so then I've got I want to get away. And it doesn't tax my processors. All right, so that's why we like to use these Audio Suite plugins after we find what we'd really like. Is everybody cool with that? So I know we're taking a little teaching moment with Steve here, but I wanted to make sure that every effect, not every effect, but a lot of them, are either going to be rendered or real time. All right, so let's just get rid of that thing. For teaching purposes, and let's do what it said here. So it said take the funk guitar. It said go to Audio Suite, take it, pitch shift it up 1 semitone, right? So we're going to go up here, and we can go up 1 semitone. All right, 1 semitone and render it. Now, let's talk about what's happening. Because I said use it in the playlist, guess what it did? You're right. It used it in the playlist. And see right there, it lets me know that it's the pitch shifted one. All right. So if I didn't use it in the playlist, guess what it wouldn't do? It wouldn't be there, but it would be here. See, it's also, look over here in my clips list over here. I'm trying to make my mouse big by wiggling it. Sometimes it's not easy to make your mouse big when you wiggle it. Have y'all tried wiggling your mouse and making it big? It's not the easiest thing to do. Yeah, see, it's not working now. Maybe it's everybody watching. So pitch shift. You see how it wrote that pitch shift, and now I've got it there. And guess where it is? Another learning moment with Steve. Look at this. And this is why it's important to hit that audio files button, because now we got all our pitch shift, right? So any questions? Any questions? Y'all ready to hear what it sounds like? Ready to hear the difference? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's not solo it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Come on. There we go. All right. I didn't hear the difference there. Let's use the other one here. Shift Legacy. All right. So when you're doing this, see, I've got different notes here. Get different notes. We can detune it and sense if it was just a little bit off in between too. You've got your that's the same thing. So if you know notes, detune and notes is the same thing as coarse tune and fine tune. So let's just go up one semitone. All right. Now, let's talk about these other buttons while we are here. All right, the entire selection. Remember, we talked about a little bit about this when we slowed down this thing in week 1, right? So if I had multiple clips, right, I could process them clip by clip or the entire selection. So generally, I like this on entire selection. Generally, I like this on creating continuous file. Now, let's hit render and see what happens here. See if we can hear it. So now we got it. There we go. I hear that. See, so now I undo it. Yeah. I can hear that pitch shift. I was like, wait a minute. That didn't, I swear. All right. I'm not sure exactly what happened, Gerald, on that. But just go ahead and use this legacy pitch shift and you'll be fine. Because I heard that. So although that the original didn't sound bad, I think that was a musical reason why, is because it was playing off the 7th and we just raised it a semitone back up to the root. I think that's why it still sounds good either way. But now let's go ahead and do a Save. So any questions about that audio suite? And so some of them, obviously you can't do in real time, like a reverse, right? So you're going to have to do it like if you hear that doom, shock, right? Like, remember that everybody have the name of the game, strokes of word, right? You got the doom, shock, all right? So, some of those things like reverse you can't do in real time because obviously it's not going to be able to look ahead and do that kind of stuff. So yeah. So as y'all are doing it, I had Gerald asking questions. He just didn't want to lose points. So just do what I did. Play it back. Make sure you hear the pitch shift. If you don't hear it, figure out what's wrong. And that's what I did. I heard the first one. I was like, what's going on? So then I went and just, rather than trying to figure that other one out, because I usually use that other one anyway, I went ahead and did it with the legacy one. It worked fine. All right. So listen to the things that you do. Don't just say, well, it says pitch shift. It must be a pitch shift. Right? Trust your ears on that one. Richard says this class is really definitely hard. This class is definitely giving you a whole lot of easy things. I mean, we're covering 2 books in a short amount of time. And yes, I agree that we're, I think anytime you learn a new software and you're learning the basics, and I think what makes Pro Tools difficult is there are several ways to do the same thing. So I try to give you some workflow, and I know we go fast, and that's why I tell everybody just kick back and watch the first time and then try to follow along. Pause, work a little bit, pause, work a little bit, and watch it 2 or 3 times. I definitely tell everybody I expect you to be putting in at least 15 hours a week on this class. Let's see. I've got somebody else saying they're turning into the confessional again. Like, I made a mistake. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. So is everybody cool with that? Any questions about audio suites, or give me thumbs up? Well, good. Woo woo. You know what the fish said when he swam into the wall? Damn. Did I already tell you that one? I probably already told you that one. Yeah, because that's my favorite damn joke. We were driving over the one in Pickwick, and the guy working the bridge, and I was like, look at that damn guy. My kids love it. All right, let's roll. So that's easy. We did our save. Let's go back. Wickety whack. Time to learn some more. All right. So remember what we learned from number 2. Effects will either be real-time or rendered. So number 3 says, from the tracks menu, unhide and activate the audio track named Guitar Effects. All right, well, let's just do this one step at a time. Let's unhide and activate the audio track named guitar effects. So let's go back over to Pro Tools. And remember, what two keys am I hitting right here to make this pop up to make it quick and easy? Da 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 da. I'm loving it. It is Command and Tabaroni. Very good. All right, so let's go look at that. So now we've unhid that. We're going to go to guitar effects. So check this out. I can right click right here, show it and make it active in one step. 3 fingers down. Right? What am I doing 3 fingers for? What's my 3 fingers? What am I talking about? 3 fingers down. I always do that just to maximize my space here. And matter of fact, I'm not going to need my actually I am going to need my effects here in just a minute. So my 3 fingers, Command, Option, and Control, right? And then the down arrow. Good. So I like to do that just to maximize my screen. So it says get my guitar effects right here. So now we got this thing right here. Oh. Ooh. Well, the first thing let's do is let's reroute it. Let's send it over to my submaster. And remember, I only set up a submaster right now. I'm going to teach you more about a submaster next Monday night. But for right now, you guys don't need it. Just keep sending it to your main outputs. I'm doing it so I can talk over this thing, so I can do a little teaching, man. All right, so we got this little thing, and we're going to put a little delay on it. Using time-based routing, route this track to the delay. And then we'll set the levels here in a minute. So let's use time-based routing. All right, so let's talk about 2 types of effects then. We said that every effect will be either rendered or real-time, and now I'm going to tell you that they will also be either. Do y'all want to figure these 2 out? Have y'all learned this in another class? Can you tell me real quick? I'll sing a little bit while you think about it, while you do it. They're either one of 2 things. Well, you've got the answer. One of them is either time-based routing. What's the other one? Sorry, I had to beatbox the rest of it out. So we got real-time or dynamic. So let's first talk about these 2. Let's do some learning, and then we will set it up. So let's talk about a dynamic effect. A dynamic effect is what I'm going to put straight on what we're going to call a dry track. See my Steve Live track coming in? I'm going to put a dynamic effect like an EQ, right? That EQ was very dynamic for me, right? Because it's raising the dynamics. This was raising the dynamics of these high frequencies. Now it's raising the dynamics of my low frequencies. Now it's pulling out the dynamics of my low frequencies. Now it's pulling out the dynamics of my high frequencies. I kind of like this sound right here. I like to have a little nice high little, all right, welcome to Homeboy Steve's. Now look, here's what I also want to do. See how my output, because I'm raising this, I don't want to peak out right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that output out, because usually what happens, let's listen, when people say, does this sound better? Or does this sound better? Does this sound better? Does this sound better? Our ears trick us, everybody, all right? And we will generally say the louder sound sounds better. So what you do is you back down your output until your input and your output are about matching again, right? And then I hear the EQ versus the flat and see how it EQs itself. And now I'm not really hearing a bump in volume. I'm hearing a change in EQ. And now we're really being smart engineers. Does that make sense, everybody? Unless I'm needing to use this as a tool and maybe it's not loud enough in the track, and then I'll pump it up just a little bit. Everybody cool with that explanation there? All right, so that is a dynamic, just like I could take a compressor would be another dynamic EQ that I would put straight on a track, maybe a compressor, right? So here's a compressor, and notice it's got some gain reduction going down, and as I raise the the ratio, I got more gain reduction down. If I move my threshold up enough, it's not even going to hit it, right? So that is a very dynamic. It's working on all the dynamics of this. Now, let me ask, I'm taking a quick poll. Has everybody already talked about dynamic and time-based effects in another class, and I'm just now showing you this in Pro Tools? Is that a correct assumption, right? So I'm just, all right. So, so then tell me one more common dynamic effect. We said EQs, compressors. What's one more common dynamic effect that might be listed here when we're looking? Noise, filter gates, modulations, that kind of stuff. All right, so all right, good. Somebody brought up reverb, and you're right. Reverb is time based, so that's what I was going to talk about next. And since we're chatting about this, so let's leave this EQ. I think everybody's, you like my. Should we go back to my EQ? Does everybody like my little EQ? Steve sounds better with a little high end. I sound better with a nice little high end and a nice little low end, right? Everybody, oh yeah. Say, Steve, that sounds so good. It sounds like a superstar, no matter who you are. All right, so that's a time-based effect. Now let's look at this time-based. Let's look at the time-based effect. So here I've set up a time-based effect. Now before we do this, I've got to route this. So I need my wet and a dry track. See, I've got Steve Live and Steve Effects. And see how they're both jumping together? It's because I'm routing one to the other. All right, so let's look at this real quick and see how I'm doing this for a teaching example, and then we're going to get back to the regularly scheduled program. But remember how I like to learn? All right, so I'm going to look at my sends this time, and that's what I did is I sent over to Steve's Effects, and I sent, see if I pull it down, now it's not getting there. And now I sent it, and it is getting there. And I'll show you exactly how to do that in just a second. But just for the thing. So now I'm blending a dry signal and a wet signal. They are both going to the same place. They're both going to the output 1 and 2. Is everybody making sense? So now we are blending a real-time effect, or blending a wet signal and a dry signal. Right now, it doesn't sound like I have reverb on my voice, but I promise I do. I've just got this little boost on here. If I'll change it to something here, here's a cathedral, right? Now you hear this, like, Steve sounds like he's in a cathedral, and he can blend the dry. See, it doesn't sound like I'm with a cathedral anymore. So now he needs to blend the wet signal. Then he will sound like he's in a cathedral. Or wait a minute. Let's do empty room. Hey guys, when you come in here, just let's put the drums over across the room over there. And then we'll put those on the other side. But see, if I pull all of the wet signal out, you still hear the dry, right? See, that's what I'm saying. He's like, say no to drugs. It's pretty funny. Let's say I'm in this opera hall. It doesn't sound like I'm in an opera hall, but I've got to blend the two together. And it's like, I am teacher of the crazy workstations is here inside my mind. Right? I just been using boost just because it gives me a little boost. So everybody cool with that? All right. So everybody cool with the difference of time-based versus dynamic-based? Every effect in the whole world now is either going to be rendered or real-time, and either dynamic or time-based. Word? Give me a word up if it's good. You're like, all these different things, man. Thumbs up and words up and all goods. And Good. All right, so now let's do what we're supposed to do here. We're going to route this to the delay. All right, so check it out what we're going to do. We'll hide my stuff real quick. 3 fingers down. All right, so my funk guitar, we're going to get this delay going on. So let's show the delay, 3 fingers down. All right, let's move it right under the guitar. So remember, both of them have to go to the same place. Let's have this go to my submaster. So the wet signal and the dry signal are going to go to the same place. So I'm only seeing 5 of them now, but check, or 3 of them now. There's 5 total, right? And actually, I have 2 banks of 5, so you can actually have 10 effects and then send it 10 different places at the same time. So it's pretty crazy routing that you can do here. But as we go here, so dynamic delay. So we've already put the delay on here. You don't need to change this, but I need to route it here. So anything you do, if you're using a delays, put it on D. It just makes sense, right? Delays D, right? Boom. Somebody's like, what, reverbs aren't on R? Well, oh well. So check it out. Outputs. I'm not trying to send it out of my system, right? Right? But buses, I've got 256 buses right now, right? 128 and then 256 is how I start when I start naming different things. So let's just teach for a minute. It doesn't matter which ones I use. What's one of your favorite numbers? Quick, 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 quick. Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? Quick, quick, quick. Who's up? 3. Was 3 first one? No, 7 was the first one. All right, so check this out. 7 and 8. I'm going to use bus 7 and 8. So now that I'm sending another signal to 7 and 8, right? That's what happens here with this guitar effects. So let me show you, and you'll see it, right? So see how I send it there? So now it's sending. Picture it like in this floppy chord. 7, in this 7 and 8 patch chord. So what does my reverb input need to be? Yep, I'm asking questions again. You're like, dang it, I just had mayonnaise all over my fingers and now we gotta wash them off again. That's right. Thank you, Mitch. So we're gonna go bus 7 and 8. And we are here. Now, when I send it over here, watch what happens. Because it's not there yet. Now watch. Hear that delay? If you can't hear that delay, I want to talk to you about the film programs that we have here at Full Sail. They are awesome. I'm kidding, but does everybody hear that delay? I mean, that's quite obvious, right? All right, so let's see what the directions tell us now. So that was the use time-based routing is to route this track to the delay. Any questions there? We good? Or I'm going to pause for a minute. Yeah. So if you got a question, you can ask me. Hey, have you ever noticed that when you see a flock of birds flying, I'm giving you a minute to type in questions. That's why I'm telling you a joke right now. If you got questions, otherwise you can give me a thumbs up and say, that's all cool, and that's how I know that I'm not waiting on you. But have you ever noticed that when you've got a flock of birds flying in a V formation, that one side of the V is longer than the other? Yeah, you notice that? You ever know why that one side is longer? Yeah. It's because there's more birds on that side. Yep, I'm serious. Some more. Yep. All right, so now let's send the send level to -11. There's a couple things that you can do here. You can watch right here. Watch this number. Watch it. -11. -11. It's hard. It's really hard. Right? Or check it out. If I hold command click, if I command and then drag it, it turns into a fine drag. Look at that. And you're like, ooh, that's fine. And I can, boom, pop it right there, -11. Or check it out. Somebody's like, can you type it in there? You just like type 11. And I'm like, nope, you can't type 11 because that's like turning your amp up to 11, bro. You got to type -11. And then that's -11. So we got our send to -11 dB full scale. That does not mean dB full sail. I know you probably thought it did, right? The aux must be set to unity gain. So we're always labeling our aux track. So we said this aux, and the reason I know it's an aux, look at my mouse. I'm trying to wiggle my mouse again. Oh, look, I can wiggle it and make it big now. See my delay? See that little arrow? That little down arrow is the key that lets me know it's an aux track. There's a couple other things that lets me know it's an aux track. Does anybody want to chime in their pretty little voice and tell me, or their pretty little typing fingers, and tell me what I'm missing right here that lets me know it's an aux track? It's green because I colored it green. So that's I love the way you think though. There is not an I, correct? And there is no what? So my dog just gave it away. I don't know if you heard him, but he said no record back there. I don't know if Richard said that on his own or he heard my dog go, no, R. That's what Ollie said. By the way, his full name is Oliver P. Gagnasty. Because, I mean, he just does some things. It's just gross. Anyway, this needs to be set to unity, right? So if it's not, guess what? Same rule applies. Command click will not get you. It's going to give you different things. So make sure you're looking at volume. So if you need to, right, you just click and drag in here, right? And if you need to get to unity, look at this. Does anybody know the quick key? Check it out. You have the option to put it to unity. So option, clickola, boom. Now remember, it didn't make the boom sound for me, but I like the clicks that go boom. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute for you old folks. So now I've got my aux set at -11 and my send set to -11 and my aux return set to 00. Everybody cool like that? I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. Now we can go faster on number 4 because now we've already learned about this. All right. So option click is how I made it get up to unity automatically if I could not put it on 0 by grabbing it and putting it where I wanted to. Very nice. All right. So number 4 from the tracks menu, unhide and activate the verb. Let's do that. The verb, man. Verb. So I click that 3 fingers down, brah. Psh, let's put it right underneath that verb. Oh, you know what? Here's what happened. We're gonna forget about all this in a few minutes. Check it out. 7 and 8. What the heck is 7 and 8? So do me a favor, rename this, because I don't know if I told you, but when we did the Dream Theater show, we had 198 tracks. You can bet your sweet bippy we were naming stuff like cry cry. Like cry cry. And see, look, and when I rename it once, it renames both sides of the cable for me. Right? So rename that for me, please. All right, so I've got my verb track. What do they want going to the verb? From the tracks menu to activate the verb track using time-based routing. Yep, the funk guitar, funky Cole Medina to the verb track. So the funk guitar. Well, since I put my delay on D, I want to put my reverb not on D, and I'm going to show you why a little bit later. So I'm going to put it on C. So as we said, now we could go C, but I'm going to show you another shortcut. This is like algebra. And yes, I said sweet bippy. I've got people saying in the chat room, they're like, you said sweet bippy. Yes, I did, and I'll say it again. But check this out. Now that I've got a verb track, and the special thing about it is that it's got no input right now, it'll show up under this tracks menu if it's stereo. And then I just switch it to the verb, and you're like, bam, just like that. Look at that, man. Verb. And you're like, dude, how come he didn't show us how to do that? Well, because I need to show you every way how to do it, because when you start taking tests and things, it's not ask you that way. So now I've got 2 ways to do it, and you're like, wow, that's cool, man. It does it automatically. I like that. All right, so now look, let's just look at the directions. Set it to -11 and the aux set to unity. All right, so make sure aux is set to unity, and if it's not, you command click on it. So let's see if we can hear this. Let's hear it without it, and then let's set it up to -11. All right, so I'll just type in here -11. So what I can do is I solo it, right? Now, what did I do to that? So can you hear it? There's no reverb. There's with reverb. Can everybody hear that reverb? If you're having problems hearing this reverb, I want to talk to you about our fine art degrees here that we have at Full Sail University. I did it again. All right, oops. I did it again. I ripped on my friend. All right, so we got that going. Everybody can hear that. All right, so tell me, why is this solo grayed out? I've mentioned it a couple times. You're like, dang it, he's asking more questions. But some people love it when I do it because I love to make you guys think, oh, look, I've got more people than I had when I started this. They're like, holy crap, I'm missing class. I better get to going. But I noticed somebody didn't come in and say, like, hey, dude, I showed up late. Sorry. Yeah, there's no track. Yeah. Audio track, that is. Look at this S. All right, check it out. It could look like that. What did I do to make it look like this? It is an aux track, you're right. But what did I click? I command clicked on the solo to do what? We talked to, or did we talk about this? Solo safing. Did we talk about solo safing? All right, so check this out. All right, let's talk about solo safing real quick. All right, notice how I've got my funk guitar soloed, and what it does is it mutes everything else when it solos. Some people are thinking, well, dude, how is his voice coming through? Well, because I solo safed my voice. Check it out. If I did not solo safe, oh crap, where'd it go? See, if I didn't solo safe my voice, I would lose my voice as soon as I solo. See how I did that? See how I did that? Whoa. So I command click on my vocal track, so when I'm teaching, I can solo and still talk. Holy crap, that's cool. So everybody cool with that? Solo safe. So I like to solo safe all my effects, because if you're going to solo your guitar, don't you want to hear the effect too? So does everybody cool with that? Solo safe your effects. And I did that by command clicking. Everybody cool? You like that? And then I also, notice I solo safe my submaster since I'm routing everything to my submaster. Does that spawn any questions? So I think we did that. We set it to unity gain. We got our verb track unity, that at 11. Let's hear it in the mix. Yo, let's listen. Whoa. Come on. Come on. Like, I could be a great backup rapper, I think. So, do you think I'm better like flowing the rhymes the first time, or do you think I'm like better doing like the backups of like the like think I'm better the hype man? All right, y'all just saying that because I'm short. You're just correcting me like, dude, it's not the backup guy, it's the hype man. I was like fleeking out a minute ago because it was sounding so good. Fleeking out. That's funny. All right, we're almost halfway there. Import the MIDI file named lead synth from the MIDI file import folder and place it on the MIDI track named lead synth. All right, so let's go import MIDI. File, import. Don't accidentally import audio since you've been doing that before, right? This ain't no like program that you can just like say, I want to import, and you can import any darn file you want to. You got to tell it what kind of darn file you want to import. You got to import the MIDI file. You want to get the MIDI file. You know what I mean? So you got to tell it you want to import that MIDI file, right? And it is right there for you. If you go to where we are saving this, as I downloaded this into week 3, you will see a MIDI files for import folder. It must tell you that this folder isn't normally there. It was put there especially for you by Full Sail University. So please don't freak out if you don't have a file named MIDI files for import in your remix project. Everybody cool like that? I got a lead synth. I'm going to .my.mid. Yeah, you know me. I'm going to open it up. Yeah, that's what's up. it says, do I want a new track or a clips list when it has a new track? Now, I told you by default that if it was a whole entire part that you would need a new track, and it would say, yo, do you want a MIDI track or an instrument track? Now, if I picked an instrument, or I mean a MIDI track, what would I have? What kind of track would I have to use if I was gonna, in conjunction with? Oh, I've already got it highlighted. It's like some kind of test when you've already got it highlighted, Mr. Kane. All right. So if I used a MIDI track, I would have to use an aux track. But since but I told you we've already got one here. Look, it's named lead synth, and there's a little MIDI track there. So what we're going to do is just send it over to La Clips List, which is just French for the clips list. Notice a lot of my options go away, like important tempos and important key signatures, and removing if it gets existing MIDI tracks when I just send it to the clips list. So I'm going to hit the aux button and just watch my MIDI clip appear and see that I've got a different little symbol right here letting me know it's a MIDI clip right there and not a bloody audio clip like it's got right there. Alright, so it said drag that out to the lead synth track right there. We're going to see how many accents we can have in one type of lesson right here. I'm going to drag this out, right? It says drag it out, right? Place this file on the MIDI track named lead synth. Now, what I've got a choice of what I can do. I mean, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I just want you to know what they do. Is I've got a choice of what mode I want to use, and I put it right here. If I use grid mode, I've got to make sure I put all the way at the front like that. All right. So now I got this MIDI file up here like that. So somebody said, because this is a MIDI track, and I know it's a MIDI track, look at my mouse. Look at my mouse. I'm going to try to make my mouse big again. See how it's got that little MIDI pin there? So I know it's a MIDI track and not an instrument track. Everybody cool like that? Say, I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. Because you got to use these symbols to let you know what's going on, right? And if you notice, there's no where to put a plugin. So what does this mean? I've got to use La Aux track. La Aux track. So let's see what it says. All right, number 6. We're halfway there. From the tracks menu, unhide the aux track named Expand and insert the virtual instrument named Expand on this track. All right, so we've got Expand. We know it's an aux track because it's a down arrow, because you're down with aux tracks, right? Everybody's down with aux tracks. You like how I learned that stuff? Down with aux tracks. So let's talk about these for a second. So these ones that look like audio waveforms, those are audio tracks. I had somebody in my live class one time on my campus class that like raised their hand and was like, they look like jet from a bird's eye view. And I said, I could imagine. I've never seen a jet from a bird's eye view, but I bet, yeah, that's what it would look like. But we don't have jet tracks in Pro Tools. So, yeah. So then, all right, so if you want to think of this as a jet track or an audio track, whichever you prefer, and then you're down with audio aux tracks, so all of these are aux tracks. And then La Master Fader has got the Greek symbol. I don't know how to do a Greek accent, y'all. I'll try to work on it, but it's definitely not Italian, so I'm not even going to like the Greek guy, right? But anyway, it's a Greek symbol for Sigma. So Sigma, because it's a summing amp, so it's got a Sigma, and then MIDI tracks has got that, and then I don't have an instrument track yet. Well, but you saw instrument tracks on your remix project, right? And they had what kind of symbol? You're like, dang it, another question. They had like a little piano. Thank you, Jaron. Little orange piano. That's right. Little orange pianos. All right. So we got our expand track 3 fingers down so we can see it. All right. So what we can do here is, now I need to route this. And actually, for teaching purposes, I'm going to just hide some of this stuff real quick and go read 3 fingers down. All right. Actually, I don't need guitar effects, and I don't need delay in verb right now. So let's just do this. Okay. So I want to put the expand, they said, on that expand track, right? Put the virtual instrument name expand on it, and now route the lead synth to trigger that on the aux. So let's do this whole thing. All right. So if you notice that in your MIDI track, right, we talked about this the other night, you know it's MIDI because you've got things like MIDI channel outputs and such. So we noticed that there was not an expand. I like putting my instruments, well, you can only put them on inserts, but keep them up high. So you got your insert, expand. Okay. When the track turns red in the tracks list, what does that mean? Are you talking about the track color over here? Or are you talking about the meters? So now that it's there, I can route it to the expand on channel 1. And I go here. So, and we can make these be whatever color we want to, if that's what you're talking about. If you want to make that, a different shade of green, you can make it a different shade of green or whatever. But anyway, now we've got it routed there. So now it's going to go over here, and as it plays, we've got that going on. And it says now route the lead, trigger the expand on it, and now set the expand to number 33 toothache preset. And then, let's just do that, and then we'll see what it says now. So expand number 33 preset. So when you're looking at this, on the presets, you've got some patches. You've got some patches that are going to be up here, the preset list, and then you've got some that are down here. Right? These are called parts. They're not patches. So don't go down changing them here, right? This is the proper place where it says preset. Notice that it says set the preset. It does not say set the part, right? So you're setting the preset. So you've got your hard leads. And then what they say? Toothache. Number 33. Now, notice that some of the patches have the pluses in front of them and some of them don't. So notice that 33 down here does not. That's a simple sawtooth. I saw that. I see, said the blind man as he picked up his hammer and saw. Well, I got a toothache now. Let's set it to come out to my submaster. Oh yeah, there it is. All right, so everybody cool with that? We got that? Steve, did you get your color question answered? So did I cover that for you? No, you did not. So ask again all right, let's pause for questions because I thought I quickly read a thing about my submaster. So my submaster. Oh, why are the words in red? Because I'm using input or recording, and that's why it's red. And so that's why. Cool. Good. So, good question. All right, so now it says record the lead synth to a new stereo audio track for Mind Bars. Make sure to name the track before recording is essential that the tricks that they're named synth. All right, so let's get this thing named synth. All right, so a new track, right? New track. This is probably one of the first quick keys that I would learn because you're going to be doing tracks all the time. And it said stereo. Now, you've got quick keys, too, to show you stereo and mono and all that kind of stuff, right? You got quick keys. So command left and right changes that. Command up and down changes that. So if you want to start learning your quick keys that way. And then to add another layer, I do shift command down to add another layer if I wanted to also add some other type of tracks, or shift command up to say nope, I was kidding. Create. All right, 3 fingers down. All right, so let's bring this down here so we can just play routing. All right, so see how this is all routed to here. Well, now I don't need to route it to my submaster. I need to route it to this, and it said name it beforehand, name it synth. And by the way, just so you know, Bob Moog died for your synths, you know, and yeah, that's a really bad joke. Matter of fact, I had gone to the doctor the other day and had a synth removed. I was hoping for Star Wars they were going to come out with Revenge of the Synths. All right, I don't know if there's any more jokes that will make sense from here. Oh boy. All right, so how am I going to route this down to here? So this is different than the effect, because in a time-based effect, I would definitely want to leave this going to wherever I heard it, but I don't need to now, do I, Marion? I need to go route this to my synth track. So check it out. Some people were like, well, dude, just go to track. And I was like, nope, not there. But check it out. It had an input already. Wonder what would happen. I mean, I could do the whole bus thing, right? Is everybody cool with that? Like I could route it to a bus 25 and 26 and then route it to bus 25 and 26. Is everybody cool with that? I could do that. Everybody cool with that, right? But is everybody cool that that's like doing it the long way, right? But I got a problem. You got a problem. You will solve it. Check out my cuts. What do you revolves it? I ain't got no synth, which is just Nashville talk. It's Southern talk for I do not have a synth track upon this part. Oh no, look, I do. I'm lying to you. Stupid me. What? What? All right. So wait a minute. No input. Come on. Go to track, synth. There we go. All right, so there we go. So if you just turned it to no input first and then went down and did your track thingy wingy, then it automatically names it for you. I did it my way. That's right. Yeah, great song. We'll start having you be the producer, and you can bring in tracks and bring in your own, you know. All right, so everybody see how I did that? So now it's routed right to here. So now it should play from the lead synth to the expand, and then out of the expand to the synth track. Let's try it. Oh no, it doesn't. What button that starts with an R must be hit first to have signal go through any freaking DAW in the whole wide world? That's right, it's record. It starts with an R and rhymes with record. Now, some people are saying, it's still not working, but I got this weird thing right when I hit stop, it gives me a sound. That's what you're going to tell me. And the people that don't watch the archive are going to watch back. Was like, I couldn't get anything but a flat line because when I tried recording it, and I went and I recorded and I got that and I did that, right? Well, actually, so I got a signal there. I thought I was going to get a flat line. But here's what I was going to tell you. When you're not hearing it and you're not able to check it, hit your I button, all right? Because you want to check the input of it. And so now you can check to make sure that you're getting it, and you can kind of feed, you know. All right, you see that this track is feeding this track now? So, rule of thumb is -6. So let's go over to our mixer where we actually have. So I could probably pump that up a little bit louder. And now it's peaking out. Well, that's a little bit higher, -6. All right, so I'm cool with that. So it said record it for exactly 9 bars, right? It said to lead, be sure that, all right, cool. So now let's go back to, by the way, command equals goes back and forth between my, and notice that it's flashing window. So if you don't like quick keys, just go edit and mix. So what I'm going to do is select 9 measures. Who wants to tell me the absolute quickest way to select 9 measures? Yeah. Shift click, I could do that. Who wants to look up? Who wants to tell me if there's a quick key? Do you see my mouse going real big up to that selection? Forward on the slash. So I could go from measure 1 to measure 9. Measure 9. Measure 9. Right? But, ooh, that's for a length of 9 measures. It said 9 measures, right? Yeah, for exactly 9 bars. Oopsie. So I could just change it right there. 9 bars. 9 bars because 1 plus 9 is 10, and now I got 9 bars. And look, because these are red right here, all I'm going to do is hit the 3 button, or I could hit record. I don't like loop record. Don't hit loop record. Hit normal record, right? And if you don't, let's not even do loop playback. Boom, boom. And now I don't have to, because those arrows are right there. Because those arrows are right there, I don't have to worry about punching in and out. Oh, stupid me, because I didn't put that on the Submaster. And then it goes in and out, and I don't have to do it. I didn't put that on the stupid Submaster. I was able to pull it down all the way. All right. Now it's there. All right, so now I've got an audio. So what that allows me to do, like if I was going on tour now, and I do not want you to do this, but on tour, I could take these two and do what to them? What could I do? I do not want you to do this to the project that you're turning into me, but what could you do if you're going on tour because you don't want to save your processing and you know that you're using a plugin right here, so you're using processing, right? So by doing this, now you've got the audio of it. So do you really need this? So what can you do when you don't need something? You can right click on it and you can hide them and make them inactive. Very good. So, and making them inactive will actually turn off the plugin. All right, but I do not want you to do this because I want to see all your work here. All right, I was just teaching you some. All right, so on the newly recorded lead synth track, insert a modulation plugin called Filter Gate. All right, let's put the filter gate. Since I'm putting it right on the track, is this a dynamic or a time-based plugin? You can tell me right now as I look for Filter Gate. Here we are, harmonic. Pitch shift. Am I just being dumb and not seeing it? Filter gate, there we are. Yeah. Dynamic, very good. Filter gate, there we are, bam. And then it said put the preset to number 23 envelope follower. All right, so 23 envelope follower. Here we go. Let's see if we can hear it. Ooh, that's crazy sounder. That would be kind of cool to like put that on mine. Look at what happens when I option click. And I option click. And then let's not option click and just put it up here. Oh, I can't move it from a stereo to a mono track, bruh. Sorry. Couldn't do it. But at least it's here. I don't want to put it that there though. But you see how option clicking I was moving effects around? So that's pretty cool, but it's a little annoying. We better adjust that, right? So set the mix knob on it to about 50%, right there, number 9. So you can dial that in by dragging, or you can type it in. Boo. Woo! This isn't. Oh yeah, that sounds so much better. It's not quite so choppy. Oh yeah. Hey, did I tell you what you call a bear with no ears? Just B. Yeah. Oh boy. Got some great jokes. I still love that fish swimming into the wall. That's my favorite damn joke. Somebody saying define great. On the claps track. Guys, we're almost done, y'all. On the claps track. Instantiate. That's a nice word. That deserves delay, doesn't it? Don't you think we should put delay on instantiate? Instantiate. On the claps track, instantiate, ascend, and route it to the delay effect. Well, we already got a delay effect. And then draw automation on the playlist, so only the last 3 claps. All right, so check this out. On my claps track, where are my other tracks? Way over here. Now look, I've already got a delay set up, right? So here's where having a little CDO comes in handy. Now remember, CDO is OCD. I just alphabetize it, you know what I'm saying? It's very succinct. Notice that I route my verbs on C and my delays on D, and I did that for a reason, because if I go up here and I put my other delay on D and I route this to my track that's already there called delay, look what I can do. Remember how we talked about grandma on the internet? And grandma on the internet, she's like, let's set our clap level to our delay right here. Well, except my grandma, she's dead, but she's just glad I'm talking about her. But your grandma might say, you set your delay level, your send level right here, and then you can close it, and then you can go get this delay level, and you're like, grandma. And so, Jaron, maybe yours and mine are up there partying up and looking down at us, and it's like, I'm so glad that he's teaching us. Our grandmas are probably having a great time up there, because you never know what's going on. It's crazy. So, when we're up here, check this out. Here's what I like to do. Because I can leave this on send D, I can say, let me go look at my claps track and check out that. Let me go check out my funky guitar, and whoops, I don't have it on my funky guitar. I got it on my guitar effects. So that way I can just change it, and then when I want to go look at my reverb, I say, hey, show me on send C my guitar effects track, and then that. And so you see how we work with all this? All good? And now we're not looking like grandma on the internet by always closing and always opening. We're learning how to use our librarian menus to change what track we're on. And then as homeboy Steve just showed you, that you're able to take cool things if you're able to, like, let's take our guitar effects. We had delay on them and we just make little habits like using D for delays and C's for reverbs and B's for EQs and stuff like that. Just wanted to show you a little something extra for your money there. Instantiate a send and route that delay effect. All right, so now we've routed that. Now we want to draw automation. So check it out. Your waveform is what you generally look at, right? But so check it out. You can hold down and you can look at this, or I'll show you another cool way. You can go through this list. You can hold this and check it out. 3 fingers sideways. And see how it's changing everybody? All right? So, isn't that funny? So, let's go back and look at waveform. And let's look at our delay, and now we want our level. And so now I can pull it all the way and go all the way down here. Bam. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my pencil tool right here. Now, if I just put 1 in, it's going to drag it up there. So I don't like doing that. I like using the line tool. I'm not lying to you. I like the line tool. And if I put 1 up there, see how it makes a ramp, or as my French friends might say, la ramp. I don't like that either. So what you got to do is you got to do 2 clicks, right? So 1 to keep it down, because we're just automating the last 3 claps, and then 1 to automate it the last 3 claps. So now let's listen. Oh yeah, listen to our clap. Clippity clap, 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 clap. I'm gonna clap right now. I'm gonna clap right now. I'm Rob Bass and I came to clap down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to clap the microphone. Oh my gosh, did I just sing some Rob bass about clapping on the microphone? I think I did. I think I did. Guys, that is it. What questions do you have for me, everybody? Quick, you can either give me a thumbs up that you are good to go, or you can start typing in a question. And remember, we still got a few times, so after I stop this archive, I'm going to stick around and help people out with problems and solve issues and answer questions. And very likely so, Mr. Griffin, send me an email, please. Actually, probably 3 p.m. is better. But stick around afterwards and we can work out something. So is anybody else asking a live question right now about this? Otherwise, I do want you to remember our expectation. I do not expect you to go right now go understand everything perfectly. I expect you to watch this a time or two and go along with it. Right? So, and if you're still not understanding things, I want you to reach out to your instructor. So, after you're done with everything, you know you're not done yet. And I had some problems with people doing this. I don't want you to just give me a copy of your session. I want you to actually go do a save copy in, because I know the difference of when you're just copying your session and doing a save copy in. And this is the audio files button that I'm talking about right here that some of you aren't doing. You gotta, because some of you didn't give me your audio files. You did this, but you didn't click that audio files button right there. And then when you hit the awk button, some of you are leaving this because it's automatically going to come up copy of, right? Because it's saved in the same spot. But then go to the desktop and you can take off the words copy of. Please don't lose those 10 points. That's the silliest 10 points to lose. And we are not going to, I don't know why we named it Conan. Oh, yeah, because we're going to go on Conan O'Brien. So we got it on the desktop. I'm going to hit Save right there. Are we done yet? No, we are not, because we still need to compress it. So last name, first name, last name, PTA3, save copy in. We checked our audio files button. We did, and once we have the archives to the desktop, compress it and zip the file and upload it to FSO before the assignment due date, which is 11:59. Eh? So let's go look on the finder here and find it under our desktop here at the very bottom. I probably got it. Yeah, PTA3. I do a little right click. I compress it like this. And this zipperoni file is what you are going to send to your instructor by 11:59 on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. Sunday. So please remember, if the assignment is submitted without audio files, it will be considered incomplete and get a 0. Just sounds so evil when you start laughing into delays. I cannot wait for Halloween. It's going to be so funny. Oh, look at these velocities. Let's put these back to notes or even clips. I like that. I like it a lot. All right. People are like, I'm touching. I'm out of here. All right. So we had our session folder name correctly. Don't lose those points. We did our pitch shift on a guitar. We routed and implemented our time-based routing. So we learned about rendered versus real-time effects, and then we learned about time-based versus dynamic effects. And then we brought in our MIDI clip and we routed it to our aux track, and then we took our aux track and we routed it to our newly added audio track that was named Synth. And then we did it for 9 bars exactly. Make sure we named it appropriately. Filter Gate, put the envelope follower with the parameter at 50, and we delayed some we automated some delays on that collapse. Numbing. All right, so with that being said, that's what you gotta do for this PTA3. And it looks like I don't have any other questions. So I'm going to say peace out on the archive. And please check me out next Monday night as we work on effects on the vocals. Now, remember, I am totally expecting you to take tonight's knowledge and apply a little bit to the remix and instantiate a dynamic and a time-based plugin before you send us the snapshot of your remix project. Can I get a, like, I understand? Will you write I understand on that, please? Right now, I understand that now I know how to do some effects, and I'm going to open up my remix and put maybe an EQ or a compressor on something, and maybe a reverb or a delay on something. Thank you for the few people that got it. I got other people with some peanut butter on the ends. Yeah, comprendo. I like that. That's Paul. Paul was back with me years ago, and he will tell you that the jokes have not gotten any better from when he was in here from a long time ago. Not this class. He attended Full Sail many years ago. And when I taught a different course, I taught the MIDI course back then. And he will tell you that you put a keyboard in front of me and the jokes become musical. Oh, there's a few new jokes? All right, that's pretty cool. I like that one. All right, thanks for the thing. I'll give you that $20 later, all right? All right, so everybody, hey, join me Monday night as we go over all the effects for your remix project, and then we will do that. So please reach out to us. Not kidding. If you're not understanding it, we are wanting you to reach out so we can help you out. My name is Steve Kane, and thank you so much to Brian, Claude, Daryl, Gerald, Marianne, Meshach, Mitch, Paul, Richard, R, Seth, Steven, Terrell, and Tariq. It is so good to have you here. The list got a little bit thinner. People were like, he's out. I'm diving out before class. I'm going to get a good spot and I'm driving out. So peace out, y'all. I will see you Monday night.